Hey there, welcome to the latest episode of the Sexy Thyroid Solution. I'm your host, Angela Brown. So today I want to talk all about the hair tissue mineral analysis testing. But if you could do me a really big favor, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you could go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and then you can hit that little bell so you get a notification when I release my new video every week. And then if you're watching this on my other social channels, share this with someone who could benefit from this. So I want to go ahead and dive in here, talk about why I do this test. And then I'll actually show you some test results so you can see what I'm talking about. But one of the big reasons why I love doing this test, it is kind of a test that will give you a ton of information in a very simple test. But the big thing is it looks at minerals and metals. And the reason why I love that is minerals are the spark plug of your body. And there's a lot of things I can see on this test, which I'll show you in a second here, that can give me information as to why you might still be having some symptoms going on, particularly pertaining to adrenals and thyroid stuff, and you're not getting answers. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a test result. So I wanted to show you an actual test result. These first four minerals, calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium, these are going to be the most crucial that I want to go over. Calcium, I like it at 63. See how high that is. 728 is very, very high. Calcium is supposed to be in bone and teeth. So when it's out like that, that means it's going to calcify. It's going to hit a lot of tissues. And one of the areas it will hit hard is the thyroid. It really can slow the thyroid down. You could have normal thyroid panel and that can show up. That's a big, big thing that we have to address. And then Mg is magnesium. I like it at a 6. 157.5 is very elevated. That usually means that it's not staying inside the cell. It means a magnesium loss. Na is sodium. I like it at a 19. So this wasn't terrible, but it is a tiny bit elevated. So we need to make sure we keep an eye on that because we don't want sodium to keep getting elevated. That can cause a lot of issues with the body, a lot of anxiety, like snappiness, things like that. So we need to make sure we keep an eye on that. And then K is potassium. That's a very, very low potassium. We need that at 13. Potassium is not easy to budge, but potassium is needed for thyroid hormone conversion, for sensitizing thyroid cells. So we need potassium big time for thyroid function. So if you think about this, really high calcium is slowing the thyroid down, really low potassium is making it even worse. So this is where she actually had a fairly okay thyroid panel. And then we got this back and we're like, wow, there's some thyroid stuff going on. So we have a lot to address on this. One that I also wanted to point out, her iron, we have to actually have her compare this to an iron panel on blood because this is very, very elevated. And so we will get her an iron panel to compare that to that. And then something else I wanted to point out was Se. Selenium is very, very low. I like that at 0.08. And when it's low like that, that again is needed for thyroid hormone conversion. So a lot of thyroid connection here on this test. She had some metals present as well. Look at all those metals. That uranium is extremely high. Metals will bump minerals out of the way and they can cause a lot of issues. And then there's some metals down here too. So a lot of things going on here that is making that thyroid sluggish. Then I wanted to show you the ratios. So this is a huge area that I love talking about. So calcium, phosphorus, this first one right here, Ca/P is your metabolism ratio. I like that at 2.6. 40.44, that's a very, very slow metabolism. So that's mostly because her calcium was so elevated. And then Na/K is, I like it at 2.4 and hers is very elevated. Again, that's because she didn't have hardly any potassium. And that's your stress kind of vitality ratio. So we got to address that for sure. Ca/K, this is a thyroid ratio. Look how high that is. I like that at 4.2. Hers was 242.67. That is extremely high, very high for hypothyroid. That is a very slow thyroid, regardless of what that thyroid blood test shows, which again, I mentioned hers was okay. So we got to get that calcium down and the potassium up, and she's going to feel so much better. And then one of the other ones that I wanted to mention was Na/Mg. This is her adrenal ratio. Look at that. I like that at 4. Hers is a 0.13. It's barely towing the line here. So we have to get that addressed. That's her adrenals. And we're going to compare that to her Dutch panel and see what her actual cortisol pattern looks like. But this is a big connection with that adrenal and thyroid. Thyroid ratio is so high, meaning hypothyroid. And now the adrenals are kind of tapping out here. So a lot of work we have to do with her, but all stuff that is very, very addressable. And we're going to definitely make her feel better and get those minerals back in balance and those metals out of her body. So I hope this helped you. I know it was a lot of information. I didn't even get to go over the entire test, but I just wanted to show you at least little clips so that you could understand this a little bit more. If you have more questions about how I do the test in my program, or more questions about the actual test and how we can use that to dig deeper into your health issues, definitely let me know. Reach out, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.